right. Evie and I are here. Evie having just gotten a bath 2 seconds ago and is super hyper to talk about kind of the absence of content that I find rather curious here. We are heading into November in about a week here, right after Halloween. And from what I can tell, there is quite literally not a single thing actually announced or planned for the entire month of November in Destiny 2, which is kind of an unusual situation. I'm not, to be upfront, I am not like criticizing Bungie for this. It's just kind of a situation we don't often run into, where usually, the roadmap will have something in a given month, and yet if we take a look at the kind of nebulous calendar that Bungie has given us here, it groups everything into 2 months. So there's August, September, October, November, and then December, February. The October-November list has Festival of the Lost, which ends November 2nd. So technically that will still be going 2 days into November. And then it has Season of the Lost updates, Grandmaster Nightfalls, Astral Alignment, Shattered Realm difficulty options. So the catch is all of that has already happened. So Festival of the Lost is almost this entire month, and then it'll be over right at the beginning of November. We already had the beginning of GMs happen. We have had now Astral and Shattered Realm difficulty options, which are not particularly good or worth doing, but that was still kind of an item on the calendar list here. And then we do not have anything until Bungie's 30th anniversary event on December 7th, and that means we have the entire month of November and I guess that first week of December where there is nothing planned that I can think of at all for an entire month. We just don't run into this situation very often, and we kind of knew that something like this would probably happen over the course of a season that was 6 months long, which this current one is because of the Witch Queen pushback to the end of February. But usually when this happens, it's usually kind of the last couple of months that drag, and I don't know if anyone is expecting there to be kind of this void that's happening in the middle of the season, or not even in the middle, right before the middle. I knew Bungie was going to use kind of the 30th anniversary as sort of a relaunch to the season because it has at least 2 new activities. It has the 6-man, whatever that's going to be, and then it has the dungeon. So that's going to have new stuff to come with it, and we will, obviously be playing that all through December. After that, we still have Moments of Triumph, which is something. It's not really like a traditional holiday in the same sense, but it is something. Like it is, you'll be asked to do this and that and get these rewards. And then is the dawning not listed here? I'm pretty sure we're still having the dawning. I think that was confirmed, but it's not on the calendar here unless I'm missing something. But that would probably be during December and then end sometime in early January alongside kind of the anniversary event. Maybe the anniversary event is slowly replacing it, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think Bungie would give up the opportunity to sell another year's worth of holiday items in Eververse. That just doesn't seem likely. But November, I genuinely have no idea. It just seems like normal rotations of, we're going to have a new rotation of GMs. I guarantee you we will have at least one Iron Banner, but probably only one Iron Banner. And then those other weeks will be trials. I just don't imagine there would be more than one Iron Banner in a month. That only very rarely happens. But, with nothing else to do, maybe that is the plan. And in a normal season that just had a completely dead month with nothing on the roadmap, I would say that, hey, maybe this is time for like a secret or something. But I'm leaning towards that just not being the case. I don't think that is going to happen this time around, and I think we should have planned for these kind of big gaps in this season, given that this is so long and it's not, you can't really expect Bungie to fill out all that time when the vast majority of what they're working on is making sure the Witch Queen gets out in one piece and on time in that very, very busy launch window it has. So I am not really expecting to be surprised in any way. We are not really waiting for any story beats to drop. I don't think this is when we're going to circle back around to the last step of the Savathun storyline. That seems like something that almost has to happen right before the Witch Queen launches. I don't know if it'll be literally the week before, but exercising Savathun's worm and her going to her throne world or whatever happens with all that, that seems like something that has to be kind of tacked on at the end of the season. So it's possible January and February will probably be pretty slow themselves. but we have moments of triumph, and then that is a time when we have the potential to have more story stuff. Maybe there could be some sort of like mystery week to week thing building around that time. I just don't think anything like it would be more likely to happen in that time window if they were going to do any sort of like, watch this thing every week or something is happening with Savalian's Chrysalis or, whatever's going to happen during that time, as opposed to now when we're just sort of in this weird gap period. Obviously, November is the busiest month of the year in terms of high profile game releases overall. At the very end of this month, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, we have Forza on Xbox, we have the new Call of Duty, we have the new Battlefield, and then we have, unfortunately, we have Halo Infinite the day after the anniversary event. So that is very bad timing for us Destiny fans, most of us who are probably also Halo fans, who are probably excited about Halo Infinite. So that's going to be a bit of a juggling act during that period of time. So December for us will be very busy. It would be ideal if Bungie's anniversary started, 2 weeks from now, or Halo launched then, but that's not going to happen. So I am just going to use this time probably to take a break from Destiny. Like, not to say there won't be anything to talk about. DMG promised that at least at the end of the month, I think, maybe early December, we'll get that big sandbox patch preview. So there will be just a lot of stuff to discuss there. So it's not like nothing is going to be able to talk about. And, we might get some other teases of things here and there. I would love to see some sort of preview of weapon crafting and stuff, although, again, maybe that is something that's going to be later. And then we will probably get more of an in-depth look at the anniversary content, maybe not the dungeon, but probably the six-man activity and the other stuff. Before then, we've only had a tiny glimpse of the dungeon, and I'm guessing they want to keep most of that a surprise, and we'll see what happens there. But it's unusual. I mean, to have a month where there is literally nothing scheduled except kind of normal weekly reset rotations. So I guess this is a time to, if you do want to keep playing Destiny, to catch up on stuff, from the season or from past seasons, or just stuff you want to be farming more generally. This is a good time for that. But obviously there are plenty of other games coming out and things to play there. So if it's time to move on for a month, I guess that's the way it is. But I don't know. It's just a very unique situation that we don't often run across in Destiny. Like, even the quote dead times of Destiny, like, would have something scheduled like at reset, even if it's some minor like lore page or maybe a cutscene and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, maybe they could surprise us and there would be something in that period of time. I would be a little surprised if we went like a full 4 or 5 weeks with literally nothing, like nothing at all, like in terms of lore or story or anything. As a live game, I think Bungie knows that people want some reason to not put the game down for extended periods of time, and in Destiny terminology, 5 weeks is kind of an extended period of time. So maybe they will put something in to avoid that. I will obviously be checking to see if anything happens at each reset. I am just not, there's nothing to expect because nothing is listed, and this doesn't really seem like a prime opportunity to drop some big secret thing either. So anyway, we are heading into that period in about a week or so, and I would advise people to just not complain that there's like not anything to do. Like, we were bound to run into this at some point this season. It might just be coming a little earlier than we thought. So I'll keep checking in on reset, and there's other things to talk about with Destiny, like, obviously, but in terms of like what's actually going on in game, not a whole lot. So we will see how things go there. And thanks for watching. Evie, you want to say goodbye? Evie says goodbye. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.